What's good, just your boy CJ Goodfella with the Boxing Clinic. Ain't did one of these in a minute. Immediate post-fight reaction to Broner and Granados. I'm gonna get a quick review of the fight card. Thomas Williams versus Marcus Brown. Straight trash of a fight. I never want to see either one of them fight again. Marcus Brown robbed a hot rod dude last time out, so I just didn't want to see him again. He's supposed to be this highly touted Olympian. Came out with Earl Smith in 2012. You can see he has some talent there, but he called out Adonis Stevenson after the fight. He's going to get crushed. I don't want to see Adonis Stevenson fight anybody besides Joe Smith Jr. or anybody the upper echelon of that division. As far as that fight went, Thomas Williams broke his jaw. He has no chin. Every time Marcus Brown actually hit him with a semi-clean shot, he got injured. He hit on the floor. Yeah, Marcus Brown did hit him on the back of the head. He should have been DQ'd, but it was what it was. Brown eventually got him out of there. As far as Thomas Williams Jr., I don't want to see him fight again. Lamont Peterson and David Avanesian for that fake WBA title that Keith Thurman held so long until it got upgraded for when Floyd Mayweather retired. It was actually an excellent fight. I definitely want to see David Avanesian again. He's an exciting fighter. He knows his limitations. He knows he's not a big puncher, so he throws a lot of volume shots. Lamont Peterson took him a minute to take the ring rust off. The jab looked good. He looks a lot improved. I didn't like them tight ass shorts he was wearing, but he did his thing, and he said 5 more fights and he's done. So he still is not a good puncher, even at 147. And who thought he would be after being a pillow puncher at 140 pretty much. But he has respectable enough power to make it through and fight some good journeymen. But to the main event, Adrien Broner versus Adrian Granados. Granados overperformed my expectations for him. My expectations were pretty high, for him when the fight was at 142, because I felt like, he can oppose his will a little bit more. He's going to throw a lot of volume punches, similar to Devin Avanesian. He knew where his limitation was. He know he's not a big puncher. He's a grinder. So he's going to throw volume punches to make up for his lack of punching power. And, Broner came out and like he did improve his game a little bit. He stepped it up. The footwork, he was moving a lot more naturally. It looked a lot more natural and better. It didn't look as orchestrated as before. With his flat foot, he kind of was moving more smooth, like a smooth operator. The jab was zinging. I thought, he could get the stoppage because he was so sharp and he was moving his hands a little bit more. But as the fight, turned on and went later, a zebra can't change his stripes. You can't treat your old dog new tricks. And he reverted back to his old self with pot shotting and just, pretty much the jab and the check left hook being his primary weapon. And Adrian Granados got back in there with volume punches, chopping him down. And he fought the perfect fight for him, to be honest. Every time I thought of something like, oh, he should go to the body here, he did it like simultaneously as the thought popped in my head. He went to the head, he threw a lot of hooks. And the only thing bad about him was his performance was he was a little bit too over anxious, and he left himself open, being a little wild. But that's how you gotta fight Broner. You gotta fight him like a caveman, because he can't counter well, but he did improve. He countered a lot better coming into this fight. I seen some improvement with him, but he reverted back to his old self, and he let Granados right back into this fight. He grinded, he put the pressure on him. Broner didn't handle it well, but I really didn't understand why Broner was holding so much on the inside, because he actually was doing great work, but he said he hurt his hand, his lead hand, and his left hand, and he said he couldn't work the jab like he wanted to, so that could be part of the reason why he grabbed. But then again, he always has been a grabber and a holder on the inside. Who I think won the fight, I think Broner edged him out slightly, but I can't call it a robbery. It was just that close. As far as Adrien Broner's career, at 147, I think it's bleak, murky at best. I don't know what he's going to do. He has to get with somebody that can compensate for his lack of power at 147. And he has to get somebody that's going to get him to move his hands and get a better arsenal and get his feet together. His feet are starting to come together. You can't pot shot, Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Earl Spence, Kell Brook. You can't pot shot those guys with that power. They're not going to respect you. They're going to run right through you. Nanny Garcia, they're all offensive based and fighters. So you're gonna need to get some offense and some stamina. The reason he doesn't move his hands well, his feet is not good, and he doesn't trust his stamina. And I pretty much figured that out with him. I do another pouch fight reaction, after this. But as far as Granados, where he should go from here, maybe he can squeeze back to 140. I think it's a lot of good fights there for him. I think he can beat Ricky Burns. I think he can beat John Molina. I heard Ruslan Provodnikov is just sitting in the wing waiting for the right fight. I think that's a decent fight for him. Going to say 147. What's up with Lucas Matisse? That's a good fight for him. Robert Guerrero is a good fight for him at 147. Lamont Peterson will be a nice blessing for him at 140. That's at 147. That's a good fight for him. Jesse Vargas is a good fight for him. The world is his oyster right now. His oyster. He can do whatever he wants if he has the right team behind him. Everybody wants to see him back that I've talked to. I want to see him back. As far as Adrien Broner, he can't make 140 anymore. It's going to be hard for him. The Robert Guerrero fight is there for him. They had a little schism, a little confrontation at the Andre Ward and Chad Dawson weigh-in back in the day. I would love to see the build-up to that fight where both of them camps barking back at each other. Andre Berto's out there for him. Charles Makiaki, I can't really pronounce his name. He's a dude that's sitting in the top 10 of every sanctioning body that I pretty much can remember. Eddie Gomez is still sitting at 147. I don't know if he can make 147. So there is options and ranked fighters that are out there. Devin Evanesian, that's an excellent fight for him. Similar to Ed Brown, but not as aggressive and not as ranging and long. So there are some options out there for Adrien Broner. It's your boy CJ Goodfellow with the Boxing Clinic. Salute. We gon' bow. Let's go.